Hello students, today is Friday, January the 16th, 2015. It's your first due date. I'll talk about that in a minute. And more exciting things on your TOPS announcements. As you can see, I'm wearing a hat because it's Friday. First announcement is that today is the first due date for work. So everything that was due on January the 16th is due today because today is January the 16th. You see how that works? It should be the first module in every class that you have. Make sure you have all your work done. A couple of good ways to do that. First of all, if you go to the class and click on grades, and you'll see everything that's due January the 16th, it'll tell you whether you've done it or not. You'll either have like a line that says you haven't done it, or it'll have a little icon which means you have done it. Another way to do that, in many classes you can go look at the module and have a little check mark that says you've submitted it. Or you could just click on the individual assignments and look for the green check mark in the upper right hand corner that says you've done it all. Might want to check that because you don't want any zeros or absences. Because if you do, you'll get a phone call. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Why are you failing? Do you really want to go to school here? In today's Faculty Spotlight, we have Scott Lamy, math teacher extraordinaire for TOPS. Scott has been with us. Last year he was with us half-time. This year is his first full-time year with us, and he is an excellent math teacher, but he has a sort of an interesting route to that. In college, Scott studied economics and chemistry and spent some time working as a chemist before he decided to get his master's in special education. After that, he taught CDC and then went to teach resource algebra at Tennessee High School. And he taught that there, and then that's where we discovered him and stole him and recruited him for TOPS, and the rest is history. So, hey Scott. Monday is an in-service day for teachers, meaning they have to go and learn stuff. Whether they're going to be available or not is up to them. I think Mr. Lamy is sending out a message. He will be available that morning, and I don't know about Miss Eubanks right yet. So just assume that they're not going to be available, and if they make themselves available, then lucky you. I don't know. It's up to them largely how they handle that. So anyway, that's Monday morning, so don't get upset if somebody doesn't email you right back, because they're going to be in meetings and stuff. And finally, the thought for the day comes from Stephen Covey, who is an author. And I don't really care for him too much. He has some good ideas, but he's sort of one of those people that's like writes about how to live your life and do well in school and business and all that stuff. And it's like, well, how successful were you before you wrote these books about being successful? And I don't know the answer to that. He could have been extremely successful, but because I don't know the answer to that, like if Bill Gates or Steve Jobs wrote a book about how to be successful, I'd be like, oh, this guy generally was successful. But anyway, he has some good ideas. And the idea I like the most, because it really frees me up to rest and relax a bit, is in his 7 Habits for Highly Successful People. He says to sharpen the saw, which means to kind of rest and relax. The idea is like if you're out sawing trees in the forest, that you can't saw all day. At some point you've got to stop and sharpen your saw, or else you're going to be working against yourself. I think like in math, what is that where you it's economics, I think. It's the law of diminishing returns. Like the longer you work at something, like when you start out, you're at peak productivity, or you get to peak productivity, and then you start getting less and less and less. So, yeah, I mean, this recreates itself in nature and other places, but you need to rest. So, rest this weekend, or get up and like be gung-ho on Saturday morning and start knocking out some more work, and then rest Sunday and Monday, or whatever you decide to do. But just be smart about it and don't be doing your work at the last minute. If you don't turn in all of your assignments today, except for people who just joined us, this week, but you're going to get, and I've said this before, you're going to get a pretty tough phone call saying, what are you doing? Why do you not have your life together? So we're really going to be proactive about that, and so I hope everybody gets their work in today. You don't want to hear from me or your teacher. Trust me.